Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video, we are going to make a stuffing chaffle. We're also going to make some chaffle stuffing. Now there's some debate whether this flavored bread stuff that comes around every Thanksgiving, whether that's called stuffing or whether that's called dressing. For the sake of simplicity for this video, I'm going to call it stuffing. And as a kid, I loved stuffing. It was my favorite part of Thanksgiving until my uncle told me that it was cooked inside a turkey's butt, and then I didn't want to eat stuffing anymore. I had a strange uncle. But I'm over that now, and I love stuffing once again. Similar to the pumpkin pie chaffle video, which I'll link to up here, another good Thanksgiving one, we are going to make one of the core elements of this recipe in bulk, and then we're going to freeze it into little tablespoon portions so that you can make these chaffles anytime you want. Or you can just make a big batch of them and do it in the dash no mess and use them for stuffing, which is what we're going to do at the end of this video. Also, I'm using fresh herbs in this recipe. I highly recommend it. I know it's a little bit more work. If you're absolutely opposed to using fresh herbs, you can use dry herbs, but the rule of thumb is typically that you use about 1/3 the amount. So I'll let you do the math on the recipe. Let's prep our ingredients. We'll start by melting a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter over medium heat. That's half a stick, by the way. Then we'll add half a cup of finely diced celery, a 1/4 cup of finely diced white onion, and then we want to saute this until the onions are translucent. Then we'll add half a tablespoon of rosemary, half a tablespoon of thyme, and 1 tablespoon of sage. Stir this up. Then we'll add a few grounds of fresh black pepper, a 3-finger pinch of sea salt, continue to stir for a couple of minutes, and really you'll be able to smell the aromatics as they release from those herbs. Lastly, we will add 2 tablespoons of parsley, stir, and turn off the heat. I took out 1 tablespoon that we'll be using in our recipe in the Dash Mini, and for the rest, we're putting it into a silicone mold here so that we can freeze them into individual portions. Make sure that each one of these little cavities has got enough butter in it that when it freezes, it's going to hold all this stuff together. For our batter, we'll start with 1/2 cup of very loosely packed mozzarella, 2 tablespoons of almond flour, 1 tablespoon of coconut flour, half a tablespoon of oat fiber, half a tablespoon of whey protein isolate, a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Then we'll pulse this 7 or 8 times until it's pretty much like breadcrumbs. Then we'll add 1 large egg and a tablespoon of chicken stock. Pulse until you have a smooth batter. Well, it's not super smooth. There'll be some little chunks. Then we add a tablespoon of our butter, onion, celery, and herb mixture. And we'll pulse that until mixed. Then we'll use about half the batter for each chaffle. It's a thick batter. Do your best to get it centered, and then push the lid down firmly. It's been 5 minutes and our chaffles are no longer steaming, so let's move them off to a cooling rack. Then we'll hit this with a little bit of turkey breast, some Emmentaler cheese, some mayonnaise, and let's give it a taste. This is pretty thick. I'm not sure I'll be able to take a polite bite out of this, but for those of you who subscribe to my channel, you're kind of used to that, I guess. Right on, man. This is awesome. It's Thanksgiving in my hand. It's stuffing, it's turkey, it's wonderful. Wow, this turned out better than I expected it would. And I expected it would turn out pretty good. If you decide to make these chaffles in bulk, it is very easy to convert these into stuffing. All you need to do is add some chicken stock or broth and bake. I have here 4 cups or approximately 8 stuffing chaffles that I chopped up in the food processor into this sort of consistency right here. To that, I'm adding 1 cup of chicken stock. Spray a pan with some nonstick spray. I'm just using Pam olive oil. Spread this out. Cover tightly with foil, and then we'll go into the oven, preheated to 400 degrees. After 25 minutes, we'll remove the foil and then let it continue to bake for another 15 minutes. And out of the oven. That definitely looks like stuffing. Scoop a little into a bowl. Now it's not as heavy as stuffing. I mean, you know, when you make the Stouffer's stovetop stuffing, it's really sort of thick and sort of gooey. The texture on this is a lot lighter. But the taste is straight up stuffing. In fact, I think if you had some of that herb and onion mixture left over, you could add some more of that to this before baking it and amp up the flavor even a little bit more. Maybe a little ground sausage in there. But you put this next to some turkey and put a little gravy on top of it, some keto gravy, recipe coming later this week. This is totally stuffing. So there you go, 2 recipes, 1 video. You've got a stuffing chaffle and you've got chaffle stuffing. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to be notified whenever I release a new video, like maybe some keto gravy, click that little bell next to it so you're notified when it happens. Thanks for watching.